Okay, different scenery again. So I made it back over to the house, but thanks for jumping back into the Let's Lick Brad channel here. So I do have two online orders. I actually made an order out to APMEX to get, as you see, there's 5 Morgan dollars here. I'm going to show you here in a second. And it also went through to do a $79.99 mystery bag. And I also pulled all that out too, just to make it a lot easier on us on this first go around, because now I'm going to have to go through, take all of these out of the sleeve and set them down on the pad, and then also take all this coinage out plus the roll that we had, set it all out to do a search, check through for varieties and everything else. But let me go ahead and show you first the $80 mystery bag purchase. I do need to flip that over because that's got some information on it still. But I did get in, as you see right there on top, it's going to be a 1940 Walking Liberty, which is going to be the first silver piece that we get out of here. Got a little bit of meat and bones on there. It's not a whole lot, but being that it's probably just going for the $80 value for the package, that's pretty nice. Nice little eagle on the back. I don't see a mint mark. Usually that mint mark will be down here on the bottom left. Not seeing that. Then we move on over here to a Morgan dollar. And I've got to put the Morgan dollar up underneath. I'm going to do the same thing with the Walking Liberty there, just to make sure. This one, it looks like it's got some luster. It looks like it's real, but it kind of looks like it's fake too. So, like I said, the reeded edge, I actually put it up to one of these here. The reeded edge kind of looked different to me. And then, like I say, just the way it looks, just looks a little off, but it might be real. Doesn't hurt to check, but we got a 1921. That's a normal date, or, it's a lot of them made. It's a 1921, but we definitely want to look on it too, and see if there's any kind of varieties, like I say, setting for these. There's a lot to look for in here. 1921, I honestly haven't had a whole lot to look through, so this is going to be interesting to check and see what VAM, if there's definitely one on there, if there's anything additional going on. So then we move on over here to this little pack here. And this little pack, as you see, it's got, we got some silver in there mixed in. You got some buffalo nickels. You got some war nickels. You got some mercury dimes. There's a little bitty gold. Let's see if I get it. Yeah, another gold dime in the back there. There's your war nickel, the Philadelphia. We got some V nickels too. It's just a little mix of older coins and stuff like that in there also. Some older nickels in there, some 49s there. You see a 53, there's a 54 behind. So you gotta definitely check those for any varieties. Looks like we got a silver quarter also stashed in there too. So that's pretty nice. Nice little baggie of things to check for here in a second. Then we move on over here, and I want to say this is actually just going to be wheat cents with a steely in there, as you see there. Hopefully it's an original steel and not a restrike. Or, hey, look, there's a Indian head sitting there also. So that's interesting. That's actually a good looking. Yeah, it's got some detail on it, but anyhow. So a little something extra to look through also. So that's cool. That's just a varieties that you see of wheat cents and a steel cent there, and then nice little Indian on there. And then it came with a roll. Not sure what the year is, or if it's just random. That says 197 so far, so I'm not for sure. We'll have to check here in a second. Like I mentioned, I'm going to have to pull it all out, stack it all up so we can search through for varieties. Now, these are going to be BU Morgans, and I've got 5 of them, so it made it a $250 purchase. And they're actually pretty nice condition. As you see, that's an 1885 there. 1885, and I'm definitely, as mentioned for y'all, going to be looking around for varieties and stuff like that. So flip it on over. 1885, and it's got an O on the bottom. So that's a New Orleans man. Just right above the D and the O at the bottom there. So 1885 O. I want to say it might be an S, but I want to say there's a really high dollar 1885 coin out there, but that's a nice 1885 O anyhow. So that's awesome. So 1885, we move over here to the 1883. Same thing, is just pretty nice. It's probably pretty close to BU or whatnot. So then we move on over to the next one, which is the 1904. Nice little variety of years so far. Move over here to the 1886. Now, If you look on this 1886, you can see there's a little bit of a crack going through the 1 and the 8 there, coming off the neckline. And if you look at her neckline right there in her neck, you see that little spike coming out of her throat. That's going to give you a heads up, an indicator that that's already a dye clash coming through already. There might be some behind the hair there, but anyhow, I mean, for 50 bucks, it's not bad. Like I say, plus if it has a variety, if this one was, you can see the 188 sitting low, and that 6 is sitting kind of high. So this would probably be one of the ones I've had in the past, was a high 6. Still a variety, still a VAM. So that's awesome to have that one already poking out and showing. And then this one here, I'm not for sure. The date was at the bottom. I just pulled them out and just set them up. So I wasn't going to try to flip them or roll them, but it's got an O mark also on there. So that's a beautiful one also. Really good luster. So let's go ahead and get all of these out, send them up on the pad, like I say, separate them out. I'm going to go ahead and start looking through them. I'm pretty sure I'm going to start looking through the varieties here because these are going to take quite some time. And then we'll have fun with this right here at the last bit of the video. Okay, bring you in on one of the 1886 Morgans here. This is a Philadelphia. And as you see, the 188 are kind of where they need to be at. They're kind of lower, butted up against the denticles here. But this 6.6 way higher up above, especially up at the top of the 8 there. So definitely going to be a variety of a high 6 already showing. So I already pulled up the Van World, and I've got them pulled up down here. You see they're highlighted purple. These are highlighted purple because I went ahead and checked them. Everything else is blue down through there. So I'm going to go ahead and select on the 1886 VAM 6B, high 6 multiple clash obverse right there. So I'll back you up a little bit, get the mouse, go to that. Gives you information on what it may look like, where it has it at, and so forth, so on. So you want to scroll down because this gives you a good visual, pictures, photos, areas that it might have the clashing at, and that might be the extra damage. You see right there, clashed in the neck. Also, it's going to show some right down the neckline past that big gouge coming out. Let's go down here a little more. Shows you the pictures of what it looks like, where the extra marks will be at, past where that gouge is coming out, the clashing. And then railroad tracks, they're going to be on the reverse, but it's going to be right here, as you see, right by the end going into the wing. It's going to be another portion of the clash. And then we've got that nice die crack that comes out across the neck there and goes into the 1. So we'll switch over here. It showed you the high 6 is going to be there. We just looked at that crack. It's basically going to go through the neck there, as you see, through the 1 and through the 8. So that's a good indicator too. And then we pull it up here to the neckline, and it showed you in the case there before we got it out that it had a little bit of that gouge that was coming out of the neck here. There's a couple of little bitty ones there, but the way the stamping is on here, it's a little difficult, but they're still there. They're little bitty coming out through the neck. Let me spin you over, see if we get a better visual this way. No, not that way either. But you can see that one there. Like I said, there's a couple smaller ones that are right here coming out. Same thing with her mouth area. Right by her mouth, you see below her little lip line, inside of her lips there. There's more clashing there. So that's a good indicator so far. Like I said, plus with that high 6 on there. But if you flip it over to the reverse, where I was showing you those railroad tracks are at, they're right there on the end. Right below the end. Yep, right there. So usually you can take my scope and I pull the scope down a little bit for, you can definitely see them, the railroad tracks that are in there. So this one here is pretty much indication of that 6B that we have on there. It is a VAM. I don't think it's top VAM, no. So no, multiple clash, obverse in, but we do have a VAM on there. And I think I had the same VAM on the last 86 Philadelphia that I pulled, but this thing's in beautiful condition too. It's really beautiful condition. So I've been setting them up here and just taking little bitty sleeve, set it right up over the top of it, and grabbing the next ones. We went through the first two here. The 19040 didn't have anything. And then there was another, what was this one here? 1885, that 1885 I checked through. I think that one was an O also. I didn't see much on it. I say that. On the 1904 here, I think we had a little bit of a crack, yeah, going through the stars there. So you can see this crack going through the stars here. Usually a pretty good indicator that there's something of, yeah, pretty nice one there. Something of a variety on there, but I didn't see anything on it, nothing extra, no extra doubled eye, no extra doubled ear or any kind of extra metal inside of the ear there. Nothing behind the head, nothing identicals around the date itself. So I mean, yeah, it's just a 1904, a really nice 1904, like I said, with a nice little die crack up there. It happens. You don't have to have a VAM on every one of these for sure. So, but pretty nice though. Nice little view Morgan to get in the mail. All right, 2 more to run through. All right, well, I knocked out all 5 of the Morgans there. We only had that 1886, which is going to be the high 6. The last one that we couldn't see was an 1883 New Orleans there. It's in decent condition too, but I only found one of the varieties on there, which is interesting, which is perfectly fine. A lot of times, if you do watch back through some of my videos, I do go to coin shops, and those who take handfuls of coins out at a time for me to check, usually I run through there and look for any indicators already for any variety. So if you have watched my VAM videos in the past, that's what I do. These right here were just randomly sent to me. So perfectly fine. Like I said, we found one variety, which is actually really cool. Now the rest of this stuff is from the other $80 bag that I had spent for the mystery gift. And as I told you before, we got the Morgan there, the Walker. These are all the random years. This is going to start off from a 41 and work its way over to a 59. Just random nickels sitting in there, I guess, look for varieties, which is interesting. Then we got a 1937, 1911 V nickel there. These are going to be war nickels above. All 5 of these are war nickels. Move over here to a Mercury dime. You got a Roosevelt dime. You got that gold dime above there. The 41, which is going to be a silver quarter on top. And then these right here mixed in between Indian head cents and wheat cents. And as you see that one steely, that's 3/4 of the way through the roll. And then another just random roll, which I want to say they have in here mainly all the copper as you see there. But it's really just random dates actually stacked in there. There's a 73 and then there's a 68 on the end. So let me go ahead and run through this and see if we get any additional and bring you back in if we do have a nice find. So I went through the first 50, the roll basically of coins here. There was nothing in there. I had a few varieties stacked up. Checked through those. Didn't see anything. So now I'm going to jump on over here to the silver and start working on the Walking Liberty here. Move over to the Morgan and then work on the 40s, 50s finds on up from there. And then I'll do this portion last. But to let you know, so this is an $80 pack here, $80 mystery bag. So if you're looking at this to say, I'm just going to give you a heads up on how much it's worth. So this is a 1940. It's probably in a, you know, VG10 or a G, something like that. So it's up there just a smidge, but it's not very high value for it just due to the way it looks and it's so rubbed down. But this is a 1940 Philadelphia. And I actually pulled it up. This is just PCGS. I just use this as another reference for varieties and so forth, so on. But if you look right here, it's got a 1940. This is the Walking Liberty half dollars, as you see here. So 1940 Philadelphia, not the S. So 1940 Philadelphia in a $20 for a 4 condition. Now it goes 0 to 70. And just in the 4 condition there, it's already $20. So just puts you in perspective, if this is already $20, the Morgan's probably another $40 if it's a little past coal, because usually coal Morgan dollars around my area sell anywhere from $36 to $38. So you're saying about $40 for this and $20 for this. That's already $60 in value just in just these 2 coins. That's not giving you all these extra nickels here, the V nickel, the war nickels themselves are probably worth, you know, due to the silver pricing of where it sits at now. Each of the war nickels are probably anywhere from $3 to $5 a piece. I mean, you got 5 war nickels there, another silver quarter, 2 silvers here. So pretty much what you're getting out of this pack here is pretty much to par on the $80 that I spent on it. So anyhow, just want to bring you in for that little information. Let me go ahead and jump on it here and I'll let you know if I find anything through these coins. Woo, I don't know, you guys. So this is actually a 1921 Denver. This is the Morgan dollar that came in with that $80 pack there. Flip it on over. Show the mint mark down below here. So there's the D. Now 1921. This is on back on Van World right here. I'm gonna go to the side. I'm gonna scroll up. Each of these are VAMs. See, it goes to VAM 37, but if you scroll up and look, it goes VAM 19A, and you can come up here B and A. You can go down, it can go multiple, there's more B and A, more B and A, B1, B2, 7A. This is the list of VAMs that you can look for 1921D. That is the list that if you want to look through them all, you can. But that right there is a huge list of VAMs. I've looked through a majority of them. There's a lot of stuff on this 1921. It's just so the magnitude of what you're looking for. This right here, I'm just trying to more or less sleeve up, or honestly, to let y'all know, this is actually going to be a giveaway. This is what I was going to mention. I was going to give one of these away here. I'm going to have another Morgan dollar here for too long that I'm going to give away also. Probably one of the 5 that are sitting on the table right here. But anyhow, as mentioned, there could be a low D, a high D, there could be D over D, there could be all sorts of doubling and die clashing. Now this 1921 here, you see the denticles are actually doubled around. Denticles are doubled all the way around here. Move over here to the left, they're doubled here on the bottom also. You see the doubling inside them, or top right, doubled all the way around. And actually kind of the doubling gives away here shortly. Yeah, I'm not seeing it too much of it come across here. It's kind of going away on these top side ones. Then the star kind of looks like it's got some doubling on the star there on this tip here. I didn't see anything on the United portion. There's a crack. See the die crack going across the top there. That's another little telltale thing possible. Come over here to states. See the S and the A. See the crack starts up here on the rim, goes through T, goes through the E. Actually pokes out probably the top side of the E there. That's another little modifier, little identifier too, possibly. Come over here to the F. The F actually has a little bit of the tie that's coming off the F, like it was doubled. Like see in the back side of the F here. And then the tie that comes off of the F down here. So that could probably be a portion of it. Like I said, the denticles could be an identifier. The cracks, there's another crack right here, goes from the top side of the E, comes around, looks like it stops right there on the R. And this is just a reverse. I mean, you can look on here for references, having like doubled on the berries there, extra talons, extra tail feathers. You know, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tail feathers. You can have an 8 tail feathers on there if possible. Let me switch you around to the obverse here. So the obverse, if you come up here by the lips area, give it a little turn. I'm not seeing any kind of clashing right there in the lips or on the cheek or whatnot. Nothing on the throat, so there's no clashing going on here. But if you move it down to the date in the neck area, there's other clashing right, or the die crack. See, it goes down in the bottom side of your rim here, comes across the T, goes through the 1, goes through the 2, goes through the bottom of the other 2, through the 1, and it pops out right back here. It goes right here, looks like it dives back in. Not seeing any doubling or any stampage for the date down here in the denticles, which that is on some of the 8s and stuff like that on these dates. There's no clashing behind the hair. No doubling of the ear, nothing, no extra metal inside the ear there. No doubling of the eye. It kind of looks like some doubling right here on top of the hairline, which, hang on one second. I'm going to put this off to the side and we'll just check. I'll grab one right here just to see if that's the same thing. So, it's hard to say, 21. I don't think it might be some doubling there in the hairline. A little tough to say, but that right there, a little splitting of the hair and stuff, it could be something. Put this one Morgan back. But yeah, it's got quite a few telltale signs on it. That is going to be, it could have a variety for sure on it, but it is just so many of them to go through to look at that. Like I said, I probably went through 20 of them, and as you see in there, it's got to be right around
80 to 100 different VAMs that you have to search through for one coin. So another thing too, that's on top of that, when you send your coins in to get them graded and you want a variety on there, you put variety. I'm guessing you can also mention on your, submission sheets what variety you're looking at, but it's really awesome that you send them in and the guys actually take their time. And if you get a variety, so if you already know exactly which variety you have, that's fabulous. That's nice that you did the research. And if you write it down on your submission or a piece of paper, or, in between where your submission, it says like your date and how many you're sending, and then it shows you variety or mint error, and then in between there's a gap in your submission forms. You could write in if you're thinking it's like a VAM 20 or a VAM 15 or so forth so on. It makes it a lot easier for those guys to then look it up. But if you're just randomly sending in a Morgan and you have no earthly idea which one it is, and it's got identifiers of something on there like the cracks and the doubling and die clash and so forth so on, and that if you send those in, they can spot you a variety. They'll look through and actually get the variety that matches up closely to what you have, and they'll look through that. But I've heard horror stories, but I've heard really good stories too. So like I said, I've got VAMs back, VAM High 6 and some other VAMs back in, which what I called is what they mentioned it was on there. So, which is nice, but just give you a heads up, go to Van World if you want to. There's, like I say, not all years. This is 1921D. So not all years have that. I want to say like the 1904 that we have right here didn't have very many VAMs on there. I want to say it was like 18 or 20 of them. That's pretty easy to look through, but 80 to 100 of them, it's going to take you some time. Anyhow, that's pretty interesting. But just to give you a heads up, this one right here, it's got some definite like toning or something like that on the side here. It's a pretty deep toning on there, but it's a 1921. It's got a nice read on there. It looks like some toning on the side there. All silver. It's going to be the Denver Mint Mark, the one we just looked at. But this one is going to be given away. I will have it up in the Mylar sleeve, but you have to go back through. You have to go back through and you have to watch my submission video and make a comment. So I did just recently post a submission video online. I sent out a whole bunch of coins actually to get graded. I had to make it back here to the house to get 2 additional coins to throw in there, which was a 74D DDO and a 73D DDO. So make sure you go back through. I think it says submission going out. I think that's the last submission video I had. But make sure you go through. Make sure you pop a comment on there. And make sure when you're doing your comment, just post Morgan looking good, or Morgan, I'll definitely take a Morgan, or whatnot. Just post a comment on there. But we will have it up for grabs. Like I said, there's going to be a couple more of them that I'm going to give away. I do have some more mint sets that I also want to give away also. There's a stack here, one this way, and then a bunch of them that I've got in the box. Let's keep rolling though. All right, went through it all. That was actually kind of nice. Really nice for an $80 bag. Like I say, you definitely got your money's worth. Probably a little more out of it if you're looking at like the wheat cents of actually stacking more value on. I look at them only about 5 cents a piece or so. Like there's shops that actually look for like wheat cents for $1 a piece. Some look for 75 cents a piece. So just depending on how you vary those, the pricing of the wheat cents there. But with our wheat cents, we had quite a few of the 40s and 50s there, but we did have 2 others standing out, a 1919S and a 1928 Philadelphia there, which is definitely going to go into my wheat cent jar here that if y'all saw the couple of videos ago, I'm going to start stacking up all the wheat cents in the bottom of this water jug here. But got 3 Indian head cents out of there, 1887, 99, and that 1902 with a 43 Steely in there also. Got our gold 2022 Denver there. Move on over here to our V nickel and our nice little Buffalo nickel there. I love Buffalo nickel. That's a really nice design. But V nickel, it's got the little 5 on the back of it. Then move over to our 5 war nickels we had. So we had 142 there, 2 43s, a 44, and a 45. So that was nice. And then our Mercury and our 1964 Rosy. So didn't have anything on those, and didn't have, for definite, there's something on the 1921, like I say, D. There is definitely going to be a VAM. Definitely going to be the one I'm going to be sending out to you guys. In our 1940 Philadelphia Walking Liberty and our 1941 Philadelphia quarter also. So all in all, it was pretty nice. I'm glad I got back to the house to be able to show you guys this. there is a lot, like I say, in the one coin that we had that had one Morgan dollar that we had a variety for, but the other 4 are just really nice BU. As for mentioned later on, those are going to be going out to some folks also. I've got a few things actually stacked up for you guys. So I hope you all liked the video. I do have another nickel hunt I'm going to be dropping here in the next couple of days. And then too, I got to make sure I had this up on the table. Pocket Change Inspector sent this to me, and still need a 1945S. I don't think this was a 45. That's a 45 Philadelphia. Little P on top of the building there. So still need the 45S to fill his little backward board up, but that's nice. All of these were found out of coin roll hunting. So anyhow, awesome video. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video.